More evidence consumer habits are changing. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this article from news.com.au. This one's quite interesting because it's more evidence that consumers' habits are changing. Now the argument is often put forward by the people who are trying to spruik a very positive outlook for the snapback of the economy. If it's realistic or unrealistic, I'll leave that to you to decide. Personally, I don't think it is. I don't think a instant snapback is realistic. I think it's a little optimistic. And one of the reasons I think that is because, well, we've all pretty much been in house arrest, one way or another. And when we get out back into the world, our behaviors are going to change. People are going to be more cautious. We're seeing that with a reduction in people taking on credit card debt. We're seeing that with people changing their buying habits and buying brand items, or with people saving more. We're seeing that with people moving back home to their parents, either to help take care of them or to reduce their rent, or people moving in together to consolidate their living arrangements. That's also manifesting in the huge increase in vacancy rates, nearly triple in some parts of cities. And we're seeing that in rents going down. And we're also seeing that now in Western Australia as cafes and restaurants reopen, as diners are cautious. I mean, I'll be honest, guys, I want to go out to the German club here in Brisbane. If you haven't been, I recommend it. I really recommend. If you like a good beer, head to the German club. Get yourself a nice wheat beer, an Erdinger, or anything's pretty much good there. And just have a nice relaxing beer with some mates to catch up. I'd love to do that. But, how cautious will you be? Do I want to go sit in a beer hall full of 500 people? Sure, I'm low risk. I'm not too worried. But then again, I've got a lot of children. Got to be cautious. I think I'll still go. I'll just drink outside with the smokers. Anyway, let's have a look at this. What is happening in Western Australia? Would you change your habits, guys? Or are you like me, keen to go for a beer at the German club? So cafes and restaurants in Western Australia reopened to diners today, but the anticipated rush of patrons never appeared. Cafes and restaurants in Western Australia reopened today, but there was subdued interest from patrons in heading back to their favourite venues. And here's the thing, guys. What if some of these restaurateurs or cafe owners who are already in a bloody competitive industry, they're in a hard game. Running a restaurant is not an easy job. Any idiot who thinks they can just start up a restaurant like that, only work a couple of hours, and it's easier than having being an employee, are completely fanciful. But what if these guys have taken out one of these mortgages, the RBA's, or not mortgages, business loans, the RBA is pushing on everyone to keep their expenses and their cash flows going. And then they rock up and half their customers don't return. So, a spokesman for Moa's Espresso, which has 6 venues in Perth, said not many people had ventured in for dine-in options on Monday, but they were hoping this will change. Monday is the slowest day of the week, so it's not going to give the best indication of an uptick, the spokesman told news.com.au. We can't really plan too far ahead. We are monitoring day by day and hoping for a bit of a change. He said the 20-person limit on diners meant they were not expecting a massive increase in revenue straight away. Is the business even viable for a 20-person limit? There's a question for you. However, he said, apart from the bigger venues, most cafes and restaurants appeared to be reopening. There you go. I mean, okay, so that's just a flat 20-person limit, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with the area of your restaurant. Damn, that's going to suck if you've got a big square meterage. And I know we've designed restaurants before, and you cram those tables in there. You want to get maximum use of all the area you're paying. This is another element of sovereign risk, guys, sadly. This is another element of risk from the state coming in on these business people. And they have to plan for this in the future. When you're planning the viability of a business, what's the chance of a pandemic lockdown? What's the chance of state-limited patron numbers? That's a risk now in the world we're living in. I don't think that's something that people should ignore in the future, everyone. Some on Twitter suggested that many cafes and restaurants had chosen not to reopen despite the easing of restrictions, but this may be because Monday is traditionally a quiet day for the hospitality industry, with many businesses closed. Well, yeah, it is their weekend. A spokeswoman for Greek restaurant Yefsi in Northbridge said they were planning to reopen on Tuesday, just to give people the option, because a lot of people have been asking us, and it's nice to have our customers back as well, she said. I've seen a lot of restaurants reopening, which is a good thing. It shows people want to see customers back and to be around people again. That is true. That's part of the experience when you go out. It's a social experience. You can eat cheaper at home. Often you get better food at home. You know, particularly if you're on a weird diet. You know, if you're on the keto diet or if you're on carnivore, eating out's a nightmare sometimes. Or if you're trying to avoid vegetable or cooking oils, you know, it's nearly impossible. Try and find a restaurant that cooks in tallow, guys. It's a mission. It really is, because it's more expensive. But you go there for the camaraderie, you meet with friends, have coffee, business meetings. That's why. North Beach Deli, a licensed cafe in a northern coastal suburb of Perth, said they had about 60 people who turned up to eat in today. Tables were reserved for people who were eating a meal, and those just wanting a coffee were asked to order it takeaway. Owner Ruse said they definitely had a lot of people come in, but said we weren't full. However, one table was keen to celebrate the start of Stage 2 restrictions, drinking a bottle of champagne at 9 a.m. So, well, you know, you can't blame people for that. You want a reason to celebrate, having a morning champagne with your breakfast or your brunch? You know, why not? Why not? It's been a long time since I've done that. There's, you know, nice bottle of moe with scrambled eggs. Yeah, bloody oath. Bit of bacon. They were just happy to be out and to celebrate having the opportunity, she said. Ruse said if they were only relying on dining customers, they would never pay the bill due to the 20-person limit, but luckily they have increased their takeaway orders. Over the last 2 months, our coffee trade has increased in kilos per week, she said. Our biggest fall is our food sales. The cafe normally seats about 120 people, offers table service, and is fully licensed. So there you go. From 120 down to 20. That's a big, well, it's a big chunk of floor area that's just going to be paid for nothing. So it's a big pivot to do just takeaway only, she said. At the beginning of the pandemic outbreak, Ruse said they had to let 15 employees go, but have since been able to hire 6 back. About 30% of her team are not on JobKeeper because they don't qualify as they are students, under 18, and haven't been with the business for 12 months. But I think most of those in the hospitality industry will be in the same position, she said. Today was the first day of Stage 2 restrictions in WA, with residents encouraged to return to work and cafes now able to seat 20 customers at a time. Ruse said they'd received a lot of calls today from people asking if they could dine in or wanting to make a booking. You know, I'll have to take Rachel out for dinner. I think how long have we been together? 15 years? Some crazy number. I'll have to take her out for dinner when we can. Probably to one of my preferred restaurants in Brisbane. I'm quite a fan of Lab, guys. Let me know if you enjoy it too. You know, to have so many inquiries is really promising moving forward, she said. However, she said weather was a huge factor in Perth, and as soon as it became rainy or windy, everyone became a recluse. Yeah, that's the thing, I think, in a lot of parts, particularly in Brisbane too, just a little bit of rain. We're a lot softer than the Europeans, you know. No one goes anywhere in winter, so the sunshine at the moment is a big help with trade. The hardest part will be what to do when we hit the winter weather. WA Premier Mark McGowan said today was a significant day for Western Australia. The state had now entered Stage 2, with residents encouraged to return to work and cafes and restaurants now able to seat 20 customers at a time. It is an exciting day for WA. We are now reopening large parts of the economy, getting people back to work, reopening many social opportunities, allowing people together, getting more elective surgeries in place, and bringing down many of the regional borders, he said. We're getting back to far more normal life, and I hope Western Australians embrace these new opportunities. Well, this is the thing. I hope this goes without any issues. I hope we don't have another resurgence of the pandemic and more restrictions, because that's the biggest fear, that they'll have to, and even if there is another growth with the pandemic, they need to manage it without locking down again, or else it's going to just dash consumer confidence and have more of a hit. Surely they've had enough time to build up capacity in our medical facilities. You'd think, wouldn't you? Wasn't that the whole point of this? When it comes to reopening the border to residents of other states, he said thanks but no. Well, there you go. The states are still isolating. It's insane. We will make that decision when we deem it safe, he said. West Australia Health Minister Roger Cooks confirmed today there had been no new cases of the pandemic in the past 24 hours, with just 3 active cases remaining in the state. Well, there you go, everyone. Consumer behaviours are changing. Western Australia is slowly opening up, but with this 20-person limit, it's going to be a struggle for some businesses. It really will be. What do you think, guys? Are you rushing out, keen to get back out, socialise, or have you become adapt to the living at home, recluse lifestyle? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. What's your favourite restaurant that you're looking forward to getting back to? To be honest, I'm just become a fan of 7-Eleven coffee now. I've become such a bloody povo bastard. It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't even pay for a $5 cappuccino anymore. How times have changed when you become a parent and old. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're a fan of the channel and you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on Patreon or YouTube. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay. You can send us gold using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via buying our merch or PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.